Okay, we are live.
Yay.
Welcome, Autumn from New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
We are on day 16 of Gratitude for Men, and today we're going to talk about let's stop hating men. What are all the things that we love about men? What are the things that we like about men? And how can we move through the pain and the shizzle and the disappointment and what have you? Um, and return to this place of sacred union and divine union within ourselves and with creator and not pretend like shizzle didn't happen, but focus on what we want more of in our lives. So here we go.
Yay. Thank you for
Thank you.
having me.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. So you're in New Mexico. Is it hot there right now?
It's chilly. It got
Yeah.
cold yesterday. The weather changed. So we were in like the 40s.
Okay. Yeah, it's been chilly here. It's been quite cold at night. I'm in Salt Spring Island on the west coast of Canada.
Nice and beautiful. Nice and north.
I'll try not to touch my microphone. Um, so Autumn and I are very new to each other, actually. Some, for some magical reason, the algorithm is working in my favor. It's doing what I want it to do. And for some magical reason, a post from Autumn came across my Facebook feed, and it was a picture of her and her partner, and she was just saying all these lovely things about her partner, and I could just tell the frequency on it was just like appreciation for her man and just this love and gratitude. And I was like, who is this lady? Maybe she wants to talk to me, maybe she wants to go live on YouTube. So here we are.
Yay. I'm so
Yay.
glad we got to bond over this really important topic of being grateful for men, loving men, changing the narrative around men, especially as powerful women and women who've created amazing things, and we know we can do whatever we want. I think this is such an important conversation to have, and really one that's been so palpable in my heart. So when you reached out, I was like, this is definitely meant to be.
It's like the frequencies really do attract each other.
Mm-hmm.
When you put something out there, like the frequencies that match it are trying to find you. They're so excited to find you. And like in your message to me, you said, I'm so excited to talk about this. And I was just like, you're the second woman who's said that in the last 2 weeks. And I'm just like, yes, I'm going the right direction. Like people are saying, I'm excited to talk to you about this. So
Yeah.
you were telling me a little bit before we went live about what you do. You're also a coach, and you've been talking about manifestation in relationships.
Yeah, for a little while now. But, recently my message has shifted quite drastically. A little background for me. Last year was my highest year in business, just really focused on growing my business, the numbers, the reach, the impact, very much like king of my kingdom in a way. And I had fun. I did what I wanted. I was traveling the world, doing me, having a great time. But in my heart of hearts, I knew like I want something more. Something's missing. Is it my relationship to God? Is it partnership? Like I wasn't quite sure, but I knew in my heart of hearts, like when I got really quiet, that there was this depth of connection that I just wanted so bad. And had this feeling like the man that I'm meant to be with, he's manifesting me. Like he has a list of what he wants, and it's me. And I'm just going to be available to run into that. So when my partner and I met on January 11th this year, at the beginning of the year, as soon as we met, I knew everything was going to change. I just knew. I can't tell you how I knew, but I knew. And that trickled into my business. And at first it was
Amazing.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Because so much of my identity
It
has
has
been
to
in like
change.
boss babe persona. Yeah, huge change in my ability to do and create and be the king. But as we've deepened our relationship and I'm truly honest with myself, it's like everything I had created had came from this place of like, I will do and create and to be loved and to be loved and take care of everyone and like hold it all together. I'm the oldest of 5 kids. It's so easy for me to step into that masculine role. But in my
Right.
heart of hearts, like what I always wanted is to get to be soft and almost like it not be all about me all the time. This is
Mhm.
something I've really been playing with is like what if it doesn't have to be all about me all the time? What my life is no longer about me, it's about us, which is such a huge layered nuanced thing. I wouldn't say every woman just like, go make your life about some guy. That's not what I'm saying at
Yeah.
all. But it's
But
yeah,
yeah,
this
this
is
combining together, choosing this
right.
unity. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's what God, spirit, the universe has brought me to, and I'm calling unionship is the word that's kind of being birthed, like more than just partnership. Like I'm not the Autumn Brianne I was before I met this man.
Right.
Um, so what does that mean and look like for me in my business? It's still unraveling, it's still unfolding, but it's been the most opening, transformational experience of my life to have a wonderful man in my life who just shows up in ways that it feels like pinch me. Is this true? He wants to be in love forever with his wife, and that's been like a truth for him for many, many years. He did have a list of what he wanted, and it was me. Our relationship was something he prayed for, and so he shows up to it that way. Uh,
Wow.
it's a different frequency.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. I so I was saying before, I'm trying to figure out how to yeah, my life is shifting as well. And I have noticed there's been so many beautiful people in my life, and everybody plays a role, and everything's what you need at the time.
Hmm.
And I've been noticing, like, why are there so many single women around me? And yes, I'm 41 and I'm single right now. Um, and so it's like, okay, I've been attracting that. And there's some age things too. Like some people are just married with kids, and I don't know, it's more difficult to hang out and there's different things. But I mean, we can make up whatever excuse we want, but I see people out there doing doing everything. So I really don't want any excuses. Um,
Yeah.
but I decided like I want to spend time around women who are in happy partnerships and who like their men. And that doesn't mean everything's perfect, but it's like they have the tools and they're finding the tools and they're taking the time because um I like that word that you use, like the unionship, the sacred union is important to them. And so they want that. And also women who are choosing to go through the healing. Like I feel like I'm choosing to go through the healing. I went through a breakup that was really difficult, not dramatic, just very emotionally difficult,
Mhm.
over a year ago now. And it's like a constant daily choice to allow the healing to happen and not to just like throw extra stuff on top of the wounds. Like you could just complain forever. I could just act like a victim and complain forever. And but then I started to look at myself and be like, well, how come I attracted this? And like, what did I need? And why did I need to learn this so strongly? And there were things I learned so strongly. And I was like, okay, I love this. I do not want this. I'm never doing that again. And I'm so thankful for this and this.
Mhm.
So it's like, it's a whole, um, yeah, it's a whole process. And I think a lot of women are in different stages. And with this gratitude for men, it's almost abrasive sometimes. Like sometimes when I say it, I'm just like, oh my God. And when I say it to other people, sometimes I also feel like this, like, ah. Um, but it opens up this portal. I say that gratitude is a portal. It opens up this like other option. So like if you're kind of at the one spectrum of it's very difficult to find a gratitude for a man right now. It's like the possibility is like opening up for you. And if you're kind of
Mhm.
in the middle, you're just like, "Oh yeah, I want to focus on that more. That's really good." Um so yeah, this gratitude is like opening a portal. But I love what you're saying. Um and I love like being able to spend time around women who are in happy partnership. So you just met each other in January?
We did. We met
So
each other in January.
a 2025 partnership.
Yep. Yep. New and not new at the same time. But yeah, for Kyle, my boyfriend's name is Kyle. He's been, I mean, the past 5 years specifically, he was in a relationship. And when that ended for the past 5 years, he went on a ton of first dates, hardly any second dates, just really clear on what he wanted in his own words, like turning over every stone, searching for what he knew he wanted and what he
Wow.
knew was possible. I know it's so funny because I think that often we just don't see men with that capacity to like want partnership so bad, or
Like
to
saying
be,
no.
yeah, to saying no. I
Yeah.
mean, he was celibate in those 5 years, right? Like very intentional, very clear, and very willing, and also like determined. I know our topic today, we're going to talk more about like stop hating men and like appreciate them for who they are, which is providers and givers, and really meant people who want to be the hero of our life and our story, which is has its own shadow, and I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
dive into that too. But in the light, it's like this man was willing, yeah, to say no and like withhold for what he knew God was asking of him, and saying was possible for his life and for our life. And it's
Wow.
like, it truly feels like a dream come true in so many ways, because I'm like, oh, even before we met, because I had my own history of just like not appreciating men, honestly. Trigger warning for everyone listening, but I was molested as a child, and that just like, I was scared of men. I was scared of men. And as I
Yeah.
got older, it turned into more of like a hate for men, and this desire for men to be more scared of me than I
Right.
was of them. Like, I'm going to be more powerful. I'm going to use a word like witch just so you fear me. Like,
Right.
I am powerful. And I think I told you this, Monique, when we were voice messaging back and forth, but my little brother, when he was when I was 18 and he was like 13, he told me, "You hate men." And that, it struck me in my heart. And I was like, whoa, is he right? I didn't change my ways then, but it stuck with me. And he was
Mhm.
totally right. Like, I had this hate
Wow.
for men that was born out of fear, truly born out of fear. So for me to like soften my heart to this point where I attracted a man like Kyle, or we were a match for each other, it feels like a miracle. Like, this was a transformation of my heart, like
Mhm. Mhm.
totally of my whole entire heart, to be open to this level of love and devotion and a really good man. But my dad's an amazing, amazing man. He worked a lot. My parents are still married. They don't have the most like loving marriage that I would want personally, but they are together and they will be forever. And they've done a great job in so many ways. And my dad has provided for 5 kids, and my mom, she's been a stay-at-home mom. So I did have this example of like a really good man in my life. And I think that helped. Like, I always had love for my dad, and he always loved us kids and went out of his way to give us everything he could, to a point that has its shadow and is kind of sacrificial. And we could, I'm sure,
Yeah.
psychoanalyze some of it. But I think that also that helped my healing process a bit, with men, of like, oh wait, I know that there are good men on this planet. And I know, even like, I think of my grandfather, my dad's dad, who's like the most curmudgeon of curmudgeons. He left my grandmother to raise 4 kids on her own
Oh
in the
gosh.
70s. One of them had um, disabilities, mental disabilities, and she worked, and she ended up dying of cancer in her 50s because she was so overworked. Breast cancer, her heart was so closed.
Mhm.
He somehow got like her life insurance when she died, even though he left her and screwed everyone else over. And I've been able to connect with this man and still see his heart and his like love and his
Mhm.
desire to be loved. And it's,
Mhm.
men are complex and they're deep feeling, and they've hurt us women so much. I don't think they really meant to, honestly, which is kind of a different topic. Like, I see my grandpa and he's so self-loathing. I'm like, whoa,
Wow. Mhm.
he wants to be he wants to be good so
Mhm.
bad that it like he can't
There's
love
a
himself for missing the mark,
yeah. Yeah, there's something that I noticed there too in relationships that I've been in and been around. It, like there's like, narcissism and empath stuff, and um that's a really fun thing to go down, and you can like swirl around in that for a while, and but also get healing to be like, oh my god, like somebody else experienced this and I'm not insane and da da da. So that's actually really effing helpful. But then like when you get to the root of it, there's actually this people pleasing aspect and this unhealed heart wounds. often to do with parents. And it's like the men are actually so self-loathing and feeling so unworthy, and that heart pain is so strong that, you know, there's a lot of talk about shadow work and stuff these shadow work these days. And it's like they're not able to, they don't have the space to, or they don't even know how without unraveling or whatever it might take. And then it's like the pain that's being caused to other people is actually coming from that. But on the surface, they really want to please. And like I can see the heart there, but it's like if you don't, whoever you are, if you don't look at the quote unquote shadow, which is really just the pain that's
Hmm.
demanding some love and attention, it just keeps effing up other things.
A
And
hundred percent.
it's so sad to watch, like, because you're in a relation, like I've been in a relationship with a man, and I'm just like, there's so many beautiful things, but like I can see that the pain just keeps coming out and it's causing me pain, and it's you're saying this and there's like a lack of hope and there's a lack of this, and it's all coming from like these heart wounds, often to do like in childhood or teenage years and related to parents and that. And it's heartbreaking, and it's like I
Mhm.
can't fix you and I can't mother you into what you need. Like you need to discover it on your own and choose it on your own.
Right. Yeah, there has to be that ownership of, ooh, I see the way my hurts, like my pain projects, and I'm willing to meet that and confront that. Which I think, like, if we're talking unionship or what I brought in, like, my life's not about me, it's about us. There's two things that have to happen for you to willingly choose that. Like, my life is, I'm not just making my life about me, it's about us. It's like someone who's willing
Mhm.
to see God everywhere they look, right? Who's going to do that deep work, who
Yeah.
can, when I mess up, have that compassion and love for me. When they mess up, own it and do what needs to be done to fix it. Um, and then, yeah, like that deep willingness to show back up to the table at the end of every night, no matter what happened or what emotion came out during the day or like whatever the stress brought out. It's like, no, we are choosing this and we are in this. And I think that that takes a very practiced level of devotion, like
Mhm.
to yourself and to whatever your practice is, like whatever your God is, like that devotion to something so much bigger than us that you're showing up for, and that you're willing to like be put into your place in that way where it's like it's all a mirror and it's all showing me more of myself, and the best thing I can do is take complete ownership, and then we can create this really beautiful thing together. um yeah, because men, like in the hero especially, like if men have this beautiful ability to be the hero and to want to be the hero, to want to save the day. Like it can be people pleasy, it can be super distorted, it can turn into control. I mean,
Mhm.
it can come out in so many different shadowy ways, but in its purity and in its light, it's like, I'll move a mountain to make your dreams come true. Like
Yeah.
I will hold it down for you no matter what. I will show up the drop of a hat. I'll leave everything
Mhm.
to save the day for you. And it creates so much safety and love. And I see that in my dad. He somehow provided a great life for 5 children and his wife, and held the weight of the world on his back to make it possible.
Mm.
And it's such a beautiful quality that when they feel like they fall short of that in any way, and this man hasn't done deep healing work, or doesn't know how to be with his inner little boy, or whatever what it may be, when he feels weak in any way, and he doesn't know how to confront that and be with it, that's when it gets really, really shadowy. And like
Mhm.
when women want to take control or like emasculate men,
Mhm.
put them in their place, knock them down a peg or what have you. And
Mhm.
then it becomes this like really perpetuating cycle. And you'll see that in marriages or in couples who've been together for a long time. That's a pattern you can see
Yeah.
play out, because men want to be, yeah, they want to be that for us. They really, really, really do.
Yeah, it's so wild to, like, when you start recognizing patterns in yourself and what you're doing, and then you recognize patterns in the relationships that you're in, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh." it's happening. Like, no,
Mhm.
stop happening. Like,
Mhm.
okay, what's the root of this? Um, how do I redirect this? And yeah, there's there's something I wanted to ask before when you were talking about your childhood. I'm curious what processes you went through, or maybe some of, yeah, what you needed to do in order to get to the place where you were remembering
Mhm.
that men have all these beautiful qualities as well.
Totally. So that definitely was a journey. It was something like being molested as a child, and what I went through was something that got kind of like put into a little box that was never opened for a long, long time. And when I became a teenager, I started pursuing this modeling career. I developed an eating disorder to kind of cope, and also for my modeling goals. And then when that came to an end, I moved to Hawaii when I was 20 and became this like barefoot hippie and went on this heart healing journey in Maui, also sharing my journey on YouTube the whole time. It was like this whole entire lifestyle that I had chose for myself. Don't regret a second of it. But it was messy and it was fumbly and I fell in love and I was with my high school boyfriend and we ended up breaking up and he had cheated on me several times. So there was a lot of pain there. Fell in
Mm.
love with a couple guys. Just like the funny thing about hating men, what I just like, this is a sweeping statement, but I would almost like guarantee it's the truth of the entirety. Women who hate men want nothing more to be loved by men. It's like, I know it's a huge sweeping statement, but I just see it like it's just such a
It's
parallel.
a
We
it's a
want to be loved
blocking pain.
by men. Totally. It's such
Yeah,
a
it's
defense
like I want
mechanism.
this so bad, like don't hurt me, but like I
Yeah.
actually really, really want
Yeah.
the
You have
goodness.
the power to hurt me
Yeah.
because I want your love so bad.
Mhm.
Totally. So I of course wanted to be loved by men. So I hated men, but I was also looking for that love wherever I could find it. And I had some, yeah, just like really depressive seasons. I was super existential. My parents are huge conspiracy theorists. COVID hit. They were like, this is what we've been telling you about, like aliens are coming. And I was just like, who am I? What is life? What is real? And that
Very swirly.
yeah, very and lost in the cosmic soup kind of thing. Um, and that
Cosmic soup.
time, that time ended up being really, really important for just like my self-love journey, like just falling in love with myself, knowing what was possible. And then like from there, the boss babe was born. And even though that season wasn't the full truth and it came from protection, it's what was needed. It's like a rose with her thorns. Like I talk a lot about rose codes, like having this super soft, open heart. I think sometimes in our healing journey, like we want to be there. We want to be in the blossomed rose. At least I know this was true for me. I wanted the thing I wanted, but we're humans and it's like throwing a pot on the wheel. We have to learn how to throw a cup, and fumble
Mhm.
and mess up. And we have to just like go through the process. So for me, my boss babe era was really important for just feeling confident in myself and knowing that I could do what I put my mind to and
And it
I
makes
can make things
boundaries.
happen. Exactly. It's natural boundaries that happen as a consequence of just like being honest and
Mhm.
showing up for yourself in the ways that you need to. And for me, it was like providing financially for myself and just like making something happen. And then I started dating this really amazing man who was just like the most gentle, loving, wonderful man that I could also kind of control. And he was more of my personal assistant than like
Mm.
my romantic partner or the man
Partner.
that was going to lead our relationship.
Right.
And I think that relationship was more healing for me than I could put into words. Like he
Mm.
wasn't my forever person, but he was a really loving man who we could like kind of just be buddies for a minute, like for a second in life and help each other heal
Mm.
and be supportive roles for each other. Um, yeah, and I think like I wanted that, like, I kind of knew when we got together, this isn't the man I'm gonna marry, but I knew also we would be able to teach each other and support each other and help each other. And I think that relationship did so much more for me than anything else could. It's kind of like healing in theory versus like being in a real,
Yeah.
okay, that's such a great example. Yeah, like, I know what my inner child wounding is, and I can conceptualize it, and I can meditate on it, and when I'm at my house alone and there's no one knocking at my door to trigger me,
Mhm.
it doesn't bother me.
I'm perfect. Look at
Yeah.
me. No one's triggering me.
Yeah, I already moved through that until another human is in the equation, and then suddenly, oh, there's that trigger again. And so we just got to do some of that together, especially when it came like to my sexuality. To be honest, like having a partner who wasn't super, like we didn't have a passionate relationship. We weren't.
Mm,
It wasn't that. It wasn't like this yummy,
wasn't
delicious
the
thing.
fire.
Yeah, it was just like this safe thing that this person was there with me, and he was man,
Mhm.
and I never really had that in partnership before. So that was really big. And when that ended and I broke up with him before I met Kyle in that pretty short amount of time, really, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm ready for a man that I'm intimidated by,
Right,
almost.
right,
I'm ready for a man that I don't, that I'm, that's my match.
right.
That's my equal, that we can, that will put me in my place, like that I can't control.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, he has boundaries and he'll be strong and he'll lovingly and kindly, but like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
exactly. Yeah. I'm ready for that. So I had declared it to my heart and to God. But yeah, like I always have mentors, right? So I had mentorship. I was working with mentors. I've gone to therapists. I actually had this crazy, Kyle and I see like a premarital counselor actually. And he took me through this like I had never relived my childhood trauma. And he took me through it, and like he brought Jesus in. So like Jesus like helped me heal this in some ways, which
Mm,
was so unexpected and crazy. And I told you, Monique, like Jesus has been knocking at my door, and he even
right.
came in this healing experience with me.
Wow.
Um, yeah.
This is Zensho. He's one of the gentlemen on the property that I live on.
Aw. Talk about divine masculine.
Hello, hello.
Sweet.
um, yeah, talking about Jesus. Were you raised in a faith-based family?
I was raised in a household where, okay, I was raised in conservative West Texas, so everyone was Christian. Like that's just like the
Right,
norm.
right.
But my parents were more alternative. Like I actually went to Christian private schools, even though we weren't religious, which is just like a different story.
Mhm.
But yeah, like my dad has like Buddha tattooed on his leg, and we didn't make fun. My parents didn't make fun of Christianity, but they very much taught us to think for ourselves and to question things and pointed out the contradictions
Mm,
within like religion. So I was raised
I
very
love that.
skeptical
That's
of religion. Yeah.
that's really special that you had that upbringing.
It is, especially in oil-filled West Texas, kind of random. Um, yeah, but I got at the taste. Like I know, like we'll be because we do. Kyle and I will go to church sometimes. I know you stopped going to church a few years ago. I
Mhm.
haven't been to church in for like years and years until this year.
Yeah.
We kind of bop in and out of some churches just singing. Um,
Check
random?
out
Do
the
you
vibe.
know who Richard Rohr is? Richard Rohr.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna plant that seed with you. He has a place here, like a center in Albuquerque called the Center of Contemplation and Action.
Okay.
He defines himself as a contemplative Christian or
Mhm.
contemplative Christianity, and pulls from the perennial tradition. So if it's not true in every tradition, it doesn't
Mm,
hold like
mhm,
truth.
mhm.
And we find so much like that speaks to us
Awesome.
more than other things. But yeah,
Was
it's oh,
was
sorry.
Kyle raised?
No, this is also
Okay.
hilarious.
Right. Yeah.
So Kyle's parents were like, his mom, okay, to paint a picture, his mom rode her bike from Boulder, Colorado to Bend, Oregon in the 70s. She was like a hippie, and her and
That's
I are just,
pretty far.
she's amazing. I like love this woman.
Uh-huh.
She's an art studio. She's super artsy
Oh
and
my gosh,
and
love
just like
it.
so loving. But yeah, he grew up with his parents literally making fun of Christianity.
Okay.
And so no, like he wasn't raised Christian either, but similar to me, he wanted to like understand why God made life the way it was, you
Right.
know? And that brought him to relationship, which is such a key part of Christianity, right?
It's a very different frequency.
What is?
Like the religiosity of,
Uh-huh.
yes, we go to church, we sit in the pews, this is what we do, we listen to the pastor. Um, and there's lots of good stuff there as well. Like I people who don't know me, or it's the first time they're hearing me, I always need to show that because I started going to church when I was 6. I only stopped like 7 years ago, so I was like 34 or something. And there's so much good things that I learned from church community, the aunties and the uncles,
Mhm.
biblical scriptural truths, and then just, yeah, like I mean everything is so good. And there is a, I call it churchianity and a
Mm,
religiosity that happens.
mm,
And every church is a little bit different, every community is a bit different, and there's also different things happening in Canada than the US, and depends where you
right.
are in the US. So there's all different cultures within Christianity, churchianity, and then it gets even more different as you go into other countries and such. Um, but yeah, the frequency of the relationship with the creator, relationship with Jesus, and like the heart-centered um, action of that, as opposed to the sitting in the pew, follow the rules, be angry at those people, be angry at those people, think that you're better.
Mhm.
There's lots of weird frequencies that get mixed in there, and then you could put scripture verses to it if you want as well. But
Right.
it's like a legalism. Um, yeah, it's a different, it's a different frequency.
100%. Yeah, it is. And Kyle and I, it's funny because we both are guilty of being legalistic in our own ways. Like I was vegan in my early 20s and I was very, about that. Or before I had when I had a true eating disorder, I was like very legalistic about that and about my business and like that. I don't know, sense of order is appealing to me. And so I get it with religion. Like I understand why and how we're so susceptible to
Yeah.
that as human beings. I don't, yeah, I'd never want to. And that's been like my resistance. It's actually really funny. Kyle and I, when we met on Hinge.
Okay.
And his like, because you put your religion or whatever you are, and mine said spiritual, and his said Christian/spiritual. And before our first date, I was like, I wonder if this is gonna work because he is identifying as a Christian, and
It's a
like,
question I have that all the time.
yeah, and like I don't. But it turns out we actually really believe like the exact same thing, which is so beautiful and just how it happened. And I didn't really know much about Christianity, so as he would, I've dipped my. I mean, I had so much judgment. Like it's so funny. I judge Christianity so harshly. So like
I'm
almost like,
I'm working through my judgment. Oh my goch, can't even say it. Judge. I'm working through it because I feel more like I have a weird frequency when I think about Christians sometimes, and like I don't want to hold that feeling towards anyone.
right,
Um,
exactly.
and so it's like I'm still working through that as well.
Right. To
But anyways,
truly
I hear what you're
be
saying.
how Jesus is, right? That's what, and so that's what Kyle, I'm like, I think it's more important to be how Jesus is. And Kyle's like, well, you're judging these people. And I'm like, oh shit, you were right, my
Yeah.
friend. Like I'm really judging and even blaming and
Mhm.
shaming. And it's silly.
And it's easy to do.
It's so easy to
Um,
do.
yeah, it's a little too easy to do.
Hmm.
But what I've noticed for myself is that it's okay for me to acknowledge that there is, it's like the same thing with like men or like with anything. It's like where is the gratitude? And like yes, there's pain and there's places and or I don't even want to say it like that. Like I've been allowing my anger to be present. I've been allowing the sadness to be present. And now that you're saying that, I'm like, I should probably do this with like Christianity, Christian things too. Like maybe I'm gonna need to do 21 days of gratitude for Christianity or something.
Love
um,
it. Oh.
but yeah, and I don't like I there'll be different feelings that come up around it. I'm just like, why do I even feel like this? Like, I don't even want to feel like this. Like, this isn't even my true nature. Like, my true nature is so loving and like, yeah, I'm just like, oh my God. So it's like I'm also like mad at myself for the feelings. I'm like, I don't want to feel that way. Um,
Totally.
and it's not like there's some wild, crazy thing that happened, but it feels like many of us, but I'm talking about myself, like that I've been like gaslit's not even the right thing, but just lied to. It's like
Right.
you're standing in one corner and then there's just like, don't look at those people, don't talk to those people, like they're wrong, they're trying to lead you down darkness, da da da. Da. And I did grow up in a home that was very curious. Like we're allowed to be curious and we ask questions, and I was always like questioning media and questioning governmental things. And I was homeschooled and traveled a lot and have, yeah, been
Oh,
to other
awesome.
countries and other cultures. And I just want to say that we're definitely going over 30 minutes. I feel like we have a lot to talk about. Are you okay to do like an hour one
No,
today?
totally.
Okay,
Totally. Let's do it.
great. Um, and so, yeah, and my mom, at some point, she started even going. She's like, I have a younger sister. She's like, we're gonna start going to different places. She's like, we're gonna check out the Catholic Church, and we're gonna go to the Buddhist temple. And it was, I mean, at that time, this is like 15 years ago or something, it was pretty edgy thing to do, actually. Um, and I was like, okay, like, yeah. Um, but for her to do it, like in the way that she was raised, she was definitely like, you know what? I don't want to be afraid of things. And let's check out what other people are doing. And there's lovely, awesome people everywhere. Um,
Brave.
but yeah, and my mom kind of always felt like she was an outsider at church too, because she was a single mom, and there's some ugly church aspects that we can perpetrate these things in our lives as well. But she felt often like a complete outsider, and she wasn't fitting into a good Christian scenario. Um, but yeah, so I just feel like there's there's so much around that, so many emotions and like
Mhm.
minor traumas. And yeah, just like, yeah, I was saying, like being lied to.
Yeah.
They're not doing it on purpose. But like there's so much more. And actually, when I've been reading things outside of the Bible, which I mean, I went to university and have read all different things, but um like Jesus actually has more quote unquote new age qualities than I think most people would like to acknowledge.
For sure.
Like, I'm sorry, but this gentleman uh was turning solid things into different frequencies, like
Right.
water into grape juice, fermented grape juice. That's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
See, I always just kind of thought like, okay, well, he is like he has these abilities, he's has God's frequency, which we all do. And Jesus was like, you're going to do more than I've done. And I was like, I'm always like, oh my gosh, that's the craziest thing to say. um and but like, like there's some, we could call it Reiki, we could call it like understanding frequencies, understanding energies, understanding how energies work in the body, like Chinese medicine, Indian medicine things. Whereas like in the church, it's just like there's these boxes,
Hmm.
these nice clean cut boxes, and don't talk about holistic healing necessarily. Definitely don't say the word Reiki. Oh my gosh, stones do not have energy coming off of them. Um, and then the word witchcraft gets thrown around a lot. And I'm just
Totally.
like, oh my gosh, like the world is magical. Jesus was doing crazy things. Why do you think that he was triggering the freaking F out of like the leaders and the religious leaders? Like, there
Right.
was there's more happening than what Sunday often depicts. Sunday morning often depicts.
Right. Yeah. And there's so much too. What gets me is like, okay, this text was wrote in a time and translated in a time where there were definite hierarchies and like men versus women and things. Like there's just so much to take into consideration.
Very cultural,
Yeah, when
strong
reading this
culture.
text. Yeah, for sure. Like super strong. Yeah, and then there's so much magic. Like Jesus was a magician, for sure. No doubt. Like this man was tapped into the quantum field, right?
Right.
Doing some really awesome stuff. Yeah, and it's like I think the invitation I feel too for like myself towards Christianity is like, okay, if they're not in a place where they can really be the embodiment of this message, then like if it falls into our that burden falls onto our shoulders. And like it's a privileged burden too. Like you might judge me, but perhaps I'll find a way in my heart not to judge you in return. Or like I can also see the ways that I am, you know, I don't know, a hypocrite, or like judge things I don't understand, or like treat things that scare me poorly, like I did with men, right? I think
Right.
it's like really this kind of thread. Like when we hate something or we're want to push something away, it's probably because there's a lot of fear and a desire to be loved or to belong in some way.
Mhm.
Um,
And
which,
an unknown aspect. Like the
yeah,
unknown can be very scary, and the mysterious can be very scary.
mhm,
So we want
100%.
to box it in and give it a bunch of titles, and that's why I like using the word Christ mystic.
Yeah,
It's like Christ, Christ's love, Christ's life, um, and there's like a mystery. Like I've been calling myself a Christian and loving Christ my entire life, and I still feel like I know like 10% of what he was talking about.
right. Totally. I mean, yeah,
So there's a mystical unknown aspect for sure, and I'm
big
never
time.
going to pretend that I've nailed it down and like, yep, it's like this, and this.
Right. And there's so much that contradicts itself too, even within the Bible, right? So, yeah, the mystery is so vast, and I love that. Like, this is kind of like the root of my work is the mystery. Like the work I do as women, even in manifestation, it's like is the mystery and all that we could never know while we're in this human body, and how deeply something I'll say a lot, especially for women, is like our desire to be insatiably closer to God. Like
Mhm.
maybe we've gotten moments, whether it be during meditation, or I don't know if you've done psychedelic mushrooms, or like orgasm, like those moments of completeness, of wholeness, where
Mhm.
I am not separate from you anymore, God. Like I was one in that split second, that taste. And then the rest of the time, there's like that little yearning in our heart to be back there, like to
Yeah.
know that completion and that love.
That
Um,
sacred union with creator.
exactly. And I think it rules our life, and we're not often aware of it. And then it's so easy from that place. We're like, well, if I get rid of everything that's wrong, then maybe I can be right. And then maybe I'll feel that thing. I think too, we do that. Um,
Mhm.
it never works, obviously. There's war and all sorts of stuff on that pursuit.
We seem to have like an obsession with perfection, like this idea of perfection.
Mhm.
Um, and it's tricky.
It is. Yeah. It's fleeting. It's never. It's never. We just can't. And it's so sad. We want to, like, even for men, I feel like, oh, I feel it sometimes. I'm like, oh my God. I also think this too about Christianity sometimes when we're in like service and during worship, and the lyrics are I I give it to you, God, to take care of. Like I surrender to you. I'm just totally in submission to you. And I'm like, whoa, this is the only time these men ever in their lives probably like feel that,
Right.
like in
Right.
this one moment, in this one space, and everyone can sense that it's okay.
Oh
Um,
my gosh, Autumn, like I knew that we were meant to talk, and it's just crazy. I was like, "Bzz, we're meant to talk. But hearing you articulate these things, like, yes, this is what has been swirling in my brain. That's what I've been talking about with the choir in my brain. Um,
love that.
but what you just said, like that aspect of the sacred union, and then men, like men actually having a a place. I mean, like church represents the place, the physical place, but a spiritual space within themselves to go to say like I'm not holding this all up by myself. I am not
Mhm.
God. I am not the absolute hero that is needs to do all of this by myself, but being able to go to God, spirit, creator, whichever word you want to use, but like the source, which we're from, and we're um what's that phrase that we are oh, I forget right now. But yeah, we're all sparks of a creator. For a man to be able to have that direction and space, like I don't, I do not want to date any man that doesn't have that, because that is just, you can't survive on that. Like I can't survive without that in myself. And when I also had that relationship with the divine, and then I can see how the other person is acting. It's for me, it's a man because I'm attracted to men. When I see how that man is acting, I'm like, you're not tapping into source. You're not tuning into spirit right now. And I know because I also have that connection. And like, I'm going to need you to go tap in and then
Mhm.
sort yourself out with spirit and then come back. Or like, I need a man who is spirit led. This Christianity, churchianity, I don't need all of the specifics of that, but I need a man who is spirit led so that he has the support that he needs.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's
Excuse me.
imperative. Yeah, because then otherwise, I've seen this even, and with my dad, like with all that pressure,
Yeah.
you're when aren't that they aren't God. Like he's like they aren't. They are men. They are mortal. They
Mhm.
cannot hold it all. I can't hold it all. I can't hold it all. I can't do it all,
Yeah.
and men too. But we're, yeah, societally, culturally, they've had a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure. And it's scary. I know it is because I feel it too, especially, now like with what's happening in my business, like even that little insecurity, it's like, whoa, this challenges me. I can't figure this out. I don't know what's best for me, right? That's something
Mhm.
God knows better for me than I can know with my limited perception as a human. There's so much, like Kyle, when we met, he's not on paper what I would have picked. Like just from his job and things like this, where I'm like, oh, that seems more, I'm gonna muggly. Like I wouldn't have picked that. Just
Gotcha.
like a superficial stuff. But it's
Uh-huh.
like, oh my God, but truly who he is and what he's about and what he's creating, I could not have picked a better man. And
Mhm.
in a way, I feel like I was led to him. Like I trusted, I gave up. I didn't have a list of what I was creating this time.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't have a list of what I wanted. I knew he'd have a list and I'd be the dream come true.
Oh, I like that. He's doing the paperwork.
Yeah.
But
So
you had, like, you knew the alignment that you were looking for.
I knew that essence of what I wanted in partnership. Yeah, like
But you
someone who
kind of
also
left
wanted to
some
be in
details
love.
out.
Yeah, I didn't
Is that
have
what
a
you
list.
mean? Like, you left
Yeah.
some details out?
I had a like a mood board, I would say, of just like the essence of our passion and the love, like this just deep love, like the love in my heart as a little girl that I was like, I want that. And
Mhm.
then, when you grow up and you get jaded and all the things,
What?
and
I don't know
maybe
that feeling.
yeah.
It's never happened to me. What are you talking about?
Well, it definitely happened.
Just
Where
kidding.
you're like, okay, maybe that's not realistic, and I'll just be
Maybe that's
with,
not possible. Maybe that's only
yeah,
for those people over there.
yeah. But I was like, no, I want that. And lo and behold, he was looking for me, right? So I think it's like that. There's so many amazing men in the world, and that's something
There
more.
is.
And I'm like, you're amazing, man. Oh my God, you blow me away. Like you already go, and you're already seeking, and you're already choosing for yourself to
Yeah.
have a relationship to God and to heal and to love someone wholly and want commitment and want to take care of a woman and a family and be the man that requires, and you're choosing that from your own free will. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Something else that was coming to mind too was about the brotherhood. Like um, men need source connection to be spirit led, and they also need brotherhood. They also
Yeah.
need men to sharpen them and to build them up, and good men to go to for counseling. And then fatherhood happens, and
Mm.
even business mentorship, and yeah, mentorship and coaching and like friendships. It's like I'm realizing, I mean I've known, but there's like layers of realizing that how important that is to surround ourselves with the right people. And sometimes you really have to have a harsh no. Um, and yeah, and then find the right spaces.
I agree for sure. Something that I am so grateful for. Kyle got into an organization when he was in his early 20s that provided mentorship. So he has men that he goes to for counsel that he has for years. And I'm so grateful for that because without it, I'm like, who, he wouldn't be the man he is, that's for sure. I mean, he'd still be great, I guarantee, but
Wow,
the,
that's amazing. Yeah, I
yeah,
love hearing that.
the mentor and counsel is everything.
Is
We
there
all need
some
it.
what's that?
Oh, we all need it.
Yes, we all need it.
Yeah.
I love how many sister circles are happening and yeah, all the beautiful things I'm seeing. Um, is there something specific that you can tell us that you like that Kyle has done or that a man has done in your life, like a specific story of just providing or
Mm.
protecting?
Yeah. Let me think of like my favorite one. There's so many. I feel especially with Kyle this year. I mean, he's just like above and beyond, honestly, in like big ways and small ways. Like one of the big ways was for my mom's 50th birthday was this year. And I threw her the surprise party. My mom loves like mobster theme, like mob theme. So we did
Mhm.
like a mob wife birthday party. So everyone came in costumes.
Is that like
Yeah.
Flapper and
Kind of
Mob?
flapper
Is that
more. There was
yeah?
some flapper. Some people had flapper vibes going on, more 20s. Some were more like think Sopranos. Like we just wear
Okay,
like fur coats,
okay.
just
Oh, okay.
like New York mob.
Love it.
So yeah, it was kind of all over the place, and it was so much fun. And Kyle was there, and it was also like my mom loves arts and crafts, so it was arts and crafts with a mob wife. So I had different like art stations set up, and yeah, after the party, Kyle Venmoed me for the Airbnb I had rented, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, just like wanted to
Was it a
give.
conversation that you guys had or anything?
We had a little conversation. Like he asked, like, "This is like an elaborate party, Autumn. Like this is a baller birthday party." I'm like, I
Mhm.
know, like I wanted to go all out for my mom. My parents had me super young, obviously. So my mom is she's my mom, but she's my friend, and I've seen her through so much of life. And my youngest sister is still in high school, so like it's
Mm.
been
Wow.
me and my mom kind of grew up together in a lot of ways. So I wanted to just do this. So, anyways, yeah, we had talked about it, and he asked like, "How much is this Airbnb?" I got her this beautiful Airbnb in the mountains, and it was like amazing. So I was like, "Yeah," like told him how much it was, and later he Venmoed me, and we had a conversation after, and he's like, "I just wanted to contribute. Like, I wanted your
Yeah.
support. You did this, like you held this down, you supported, and like I wanted to support you." And also I was kind of stressed during it. Like we had a ton of fun, but it was stressful a little bit. And like I brought all like my mom's brothers came from out of town who she hadn't seen in like 5 years. And there was emotions, and I
Yeah.
just was a little bit less in my heart, a little bit less open. And he knew like the financial burden was part of that. And in any way that he could give to me to soften me, he was willing to do.
Wow.
And it just
Yeah.
happened to be financial. And so
Yeah.
he did that. But he's also the kind of guy that just like plans all these surprises. So we're always going on surprise dates. I never plan anything. We're traveling. He just like supports it, carries my bags. Like I've never been through an airport with only my purse on my body.
Sounds
And
delightful.
yeah, we started dating, and I'm like, I'm doing nothing. I don't even know, like I didn't buy these plane tickets. I don't know what gate we are. I
Oh
don't know
my
what time we
gosh.
need to be at the airport.
It's so dreamy.
um it's so fun. It's so fun, and he loves doing it, and I love receiving it. But like the trade-off of that, like I never tell Kyle how to drive. I
Mhm.
think this is something that's so important. Like, sorry, this is like a little tangent, but
Mhm.
like that level of care and love and just like queen treatment I get from Kyle, I also give that like equal respect and admiration and trust. So
Mhm.
like I don't tell him how to drive. I don't tell him where to park. I don't tell him how he should do things. I
Mhm.
know for some women that kind of letting go of that level of control is hard, but the reward is so big on the other side.
Yeah, and not even sure how to articulate it, but there's for men that's a really big deal for them. It seems like how that makes them feel,
Hmm.
it's a really big deal. It's like
Totally.
it makes me think about what do you call it? Like the like foreplay kind of thing. Um,
Totally. It's like
like
emotional foreplay.
yeah, emotional foreplay. It's like for the women, there's certain kinds of things that when you see that during the day, you're like, "Sir?" And then I think that's part of it for men too, like when they're not being treated like that or they are being given that king treatment. That must be like emotional foreplay for them as well.
Uh-huh. Totally. Never forget. Like I think it was 3 months into Kyle and I dating. He was like, you make me feel like a man. He
Mm,
told me. He's like, and that's like how I want to feel in
mhm,
life.
mhm,
So and that's what men want. They want to feel like a man. I know that's like, what does that mean? It's probably different for each man, but for Kyle, it's
mhm, mhm.
like he can do it. I'm
Right.
always loving on this man, like cheering him on, believing in him, letting him confide his like deepest, most insecure parts and not ever using that against him, like
Mhm,
always building him up, always calling him forward, even in moments like we had this moment the other day where he wasn't being vulnerable, like he wasn't being who I needed him to be in that moment. And instead of making him feel wrong, I was like, I know you're brave. I
right.
need that right now.
Right.
Instead of like, you're being a coward. Like, no, I know you're brave. I need
Yeah.
that right now. And then it's like, boom, calling him to the plate. So I
I
think
love
we
that.
have so much power over our men. That's the crazy thing. Like, they want to be our hero and our provider, and everything they do is for that, even though it comes out sideways AF sometimes. So I think we get to own how much power we have over men. And it's like it's the weirdest thing. We have all this power and we want their love, and it gets so messy and convoluted. But if we can like
Mhm.
untie those knots, it's really like there's this like shining heart here who just wants to be like Braveheart, right? Men love these movies where there's the woman who he gets to save and he's the hero and she needs him, and like
Yeah.
couldn't have done it without him. And if we can learn how to like, but he has to be willing, right? When we have to be willing and he has to be willing, we're both willing, it can be so much fun.
I've noticed this with just any men as well. It can be the tow truck driver, it could be the guy at the gas station.
Mhm.
When this type of energy is coming from me, men's energy automatically steps into the space that
100%.
yeah, not every single time, but it's almost um like it's just a law of nature.
I totally agree. I think it's, yeah, most men on most days are going to want to. They want to. You see it in little boys, like, they want to get you flowers. And
Mhm.
like if they see, I remember like, even the other day, you know what? Not even little boy, but Kyle always opens my car door. And we were with my dad, and my dad opened my car door. I don't even know. My dad's never done that in his life, but he got inspired by
Right.
Kyle.
Yeah.
And that, like, seeing how much, like, oh, thank you so much, honey, every time. And so then my dad got that same love from me. Oh my God, thank you so much, Dad.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, it's contagious.
It's contagious. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is so good. What a yummy conversation. Thank
This
you
was fun.
so much, Autumn, for your time and for sharing. You shared some vulnerable things about your life as well. So thank you so much for, those stories really help people. And I know that's why you share them. And I appreciate
Mhm.
that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and asking amazing questions and being willing to go into these spaces for me. We definitely went all over the map. I loved it.
We did. It was all beautifully connected.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, well, I'm going to end the live stream now and then we can chat a little bit after. Okay, this has been day 16, Gratitude from Men. And starting on November 10th, we are going into our 4-week journey, Divine Shift for the Love of Men, November 10th, 2025. If you're interested in that, come and chat with me. The registration link is live. You will find it somewhere or send me a DM. Thank you so much, Autumn. Have a
Thank
great day,
you.
everyone. Peace.